Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mints Mental Health Podcast. This is episode 9. My name is Finn Lawler. I'm your host for the show, so let's get into it. So to kick off this episode, here's a question. Is happiness a choice or is it a result? What do you think? I personally think it's a choice. After all, happiness is a feeling, and feelings are often choices. Like for example, if you're feeling stressed or in a stressful situation, then maybe you could choose to feel happy or more positive than your current mood. It sounds weird, but doesn't it make sense to feel better about yourself so that you can have more control over your situation? I think so. Like, if you're going through something and it's making you really mad, wouldn't it be better to choose to be happier or have a better attitude so that you can be like, okay, let me think about this situation logically. Think of it that way. So according to a stat from Psychology Today, happiness is about being conscious of where one wants to devote mental resources and training the brain to do it. Interesting. So here's the thing. With happiness, if you want to feel it, you might as well just devote your entire source of energy and all your resources to it so that you can mitigate those negative feelings. Sure, I'm not saying you can't feel, but just remember, you're in control of your emotions. Anyway, like most things, it seems that happiness is a feeling that you have to train yourself with. Like the gym or with creativity. You can do this by directing your energy and resources towards your happiness and overall well-being. The hardest part of this is starting. So give yourself time and do your best. You deserve to be happy and have a great life. So it takes a bit of training, especially if you're feeling more pessimistic these days. But I assure you, if you can have a better outlook on life, then that's amazing. Trust me, just go with it. So to all of you who think happiness is a result, hear me out. Have you ever gone after something you want, but then when you got it, you still had that feeling of emptiness? Melancholy? It's kind of like that movie Megamind. You know that scene where Megamind defeats Metro Man and takes over the city, but then after a little while, he felt low again? It's basically the same thing here. If you choose to have a good attitude and outlook on life, then you will most likely have one. And it also depends on where you put that happiness. For example, if you go a little further, or, if you're Christian, just an example, then you can rely on maybe God for your happiness, That can go a long way. If you know where to put your happiness, then you can definitely have eternal and fun happiness, My point is here that if you work towards something hoping that it'll give you happiness, but then it fades, why not choose to have a good outlook on life anyway? It's hard, it's tough, but just if you have a good perspective on things, regardless of your situation, then you'll have a great life, Trust me. I've seen a few articles that suggest that happiness is not a choice. While I'm not going to dive into those, my question is, why do you think happiness is a result? In your opinion, do you think it's something of accomplishment, or maybe you're going to get happiness from buying that new house that you always wanted? Just trust me on this one. I don't know. I don't see what makes it a result. I think it would be better to personally just choose to have an attitude, a good attitude, like I've been saying. But feel free to ponder that. Okay, wrapping up here, being happy and content are good for your well-being. So why not choose it? Sure, you could be depressed or something, and it could feel like the world is, walking all over you, but couldn't it maybe help you to just think about the world differently and be like, you know what, it could be worse? Or, sure, I'm Sure, my house burnt down, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, that last one was a really extreme example. But think about it. I mean, some could argue that a better outlook on life could equal having a better life. Just saying. Think about that one. Anyway, this has been the Mince Mental Health Podcast. If you guys enjoyed it, please go check out my other content. I have been your host, Finn Lawler. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.